A show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Romney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon, Nail Spa and Barbershop, Tisley Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment.
Tisley Cross Cider. Tisley Cross Cider. Deliciously smooth.
This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for the very first edition of this week. With me to talk about some progress and what's happening around the territory is none other than the Director for Strategies at the Recovery and Development Agency, RDA, Mr. Neil Smith. It's a pleasure. I remember not so long ago, you guys promised that you'll be back here to give a progress report, and no better time. Welcome to the set.
Thank you, Kathy, for inviting us.
Yes. So off the bat, we want to cover the territory today to see what progress has been taking place. To start your week, you don't necessarily need to hear about the downfalls and the hiccups and the stressful things, but some happy news. Let's start here on the Tertola. We know two main projects of the RDA. Those are the Elmore South High School, and then we have the Fishbear Road. So to lead us off with Elmore South High School, where are we at and in terms of the projections and being on time?
Okay, so the Elmore South High School is a project that we're quite proud of. We're doing a fairly big project in a very short space of time. The contractors that we have been the best. They've taken on the task, something that would have taken a lot more months to do. And they're doing it quite well. And so currently we appear to still be on target for the school to open in September. The only concerns we have are logistics ones with windows and doors that we need to import from overseas. They're already manufactured, but we know that shipping in this time and age could be a challenge. And so we have our fingers crossed on that.
Expedite.
Well, we're trying our best. We're probably about 55% of the way through the building. It's 4 blocks. You have the technical block. You have 2 3-story classroom buildings, and then you have the administration building. And both of those are moving along quite swiftly on schedule. No major delay, no delays actually. And we believe that we will be able to complete this product for the people of this territory. So the children for the BVI would have a brand new spanking facility in September.
So while we know that there's some strategies that were implemented to have this done within a fast pace, we also know that what takes up a great amount of time in any construction is the internal fixtures. What strategies are in place to make sure that because you could consider this the end of June already into July, leave with August, September.
Nearly there.
Yeah.
We're almost there. So there are 2 things. We had very careful schedules made out before the contractors began, so we know how long everything is supposed to take. And also, this is a classroom. Most of the rooms are just a room with a couple of outlets and a space for the smart boards. So the building that has a lot of fixtures in it would be the administration building that has a lot of bathrooms and finer details that you don't have in the classroom in the other buildings. So Because of that, we know that the internal fit out will be a bit faster than a regular building, than a domestic home or anything like that. So we have that figured out, and everything seems to be, like I said, on target right now. The only concern is the logistics.
In terms of shipping and stuff, all the buildings will be air conditioned, right?
No, only the admin building is air conditioned. The other buildings are cool with fans. But they're designed in such a way that the sunlight doesn't get in. The sunlight gets in, but direct hot sun, you know, like outside, doesn't get into the buildings themselves, to the classrooms themselves. So we know that based on the designs that we've done, they're gonna be cool. Actually, we believe, based on experience we've had, that the students might be actually cold in some cases. So it'll be nice for the public to see how we've done that.
Yeah, that's interesting to find out. Yes. And considering that these are more buildings that were there, and they seem to be very close to each other. So,
but it's how we build them. We make sure that you don't get the direct rays of sunlight in the buildings themselves, and they have a lot of shade around it. So you'll be pleased when you finish with it. It's all been designed into the structure to reduce the need for AC, reduce the need for power consumption, and those type of stuff. So the only buildings that will be AC, air conditioned, will be the administration building itself.
And from what we can see from the little walk around you were allowed to do, what we're not really understanding is play-free areas, areas where the kids can, you know, maneuver, probably a playground and all of that. Is that part of the designs?
Well, yes. Remember, it's part of a bigger complex. So you have the junior school on the other side. This would be the senior school. So all of those areas will be common areas. So when we take down the construction fences and stuff, you'll notice that there's a lot of space around it. And then what I like personally as a nice feature is that next to the administration building, between the administration building and the House of Assembly, there's a nice little courtyard in that section there, where we expect to have trees and stuff. So it'll be a nice place. We don't expect to see swings and stuff, but there'll be a lot of space for students to move around. And even within the building themselves, there's a lot of space between them that students will be quite mobile.
Okay.
I wouldn't feel constrained.
Okay, well, we're keeping eyes. We know that the days are counting down to the start of the academic year, and these big construction taking place and seem to be on target, as you say. But let's come down to where we are located here in studio. That's Fish Bay area. It's been in terms of traffic and maneuvering. While we know for things to get better, it must get worse. So explain where we're at, how soon we can look forward to free flow of traffic again.
Okay, so the Fish Bay situation is a bit unfortunate, and we apologize for the inconveniences. The major delay was the water pipes that we had to put replaced under the road that is there. Water, well, utilities, water, electricity, phone, etc. That we were a bit delayed in getting some of the materials to do that, but we have that sorted now, and so we expect that optimistically two weeks, but in the RDA we're not accepting that. We believe that we probably finish with our project and ready for asphalting like within the next 4 weeks. But by the end of July, we're hoping that that road will be completed.
Okay.
No more delays.
And the assurance of its durability, because you know especially a particular section of that road has been a pain for quite a number of years.
Yes. So that has been, we've been very careful. The consultant, FDL, the design consultant, has done, in my view, quite a good job. So it'll be drained properly. You'll see no water on the streets, on the road. And my only concern personally is that it'll be so smooth that people feel that they need to speed.
Oh, well, you know, so we got a sleeping policeman you could put there, as we call it.
Yes, but it'll be a nice road. We've seen, if you look at Ballast Bay, you see how nice our road has been done. Same designers, same contractor. So we think that'll be, the design is a nice one, taking into consideration all the issues we had with flooding, which was a major problem there. You've seen we've done the culvert that comes out of the hill for the gut that passes under the road there by Skelton Bay Lot and International Motors. So we certainly believe that the public will be pleased with what with the finished product very soon. Give us about a month or so, and it'll be a big difference of what you see there.
Okay, well, I guess Tortola will be saying, thank you, RDA, but we want the rest of the territory to say the same thing. So tell us what's happening on Anegada, what's happening on Jahphix, and what's happening on Virgin Gorda.
Okay, on Anegada, we have some work to do on the playground up there. You know, Anegada is, I like to say, probably one of the better islands, or the best island.
You get into some trouble.
Yeah, that's right. And so we made sure, the government made sure in the RDP that they dealt with, or they treated with Anegada properly. And one of the things that they dealt with was the playground space for the younger folk and the older ones who are young at heart. And so we have a bit more work to do on the playground over there. We finished the basketball court and stuff like that. So that'll be done. The contract, we had the bid was submitted last week, and I expect that they'll be contracted or signed within the next couple of weeks or so.
Okay.
So they're not left behind. Like I say, Anegada, I didn't say that, but Anegada has a lot of potential, and we need to make sure that it's treated with properly. We know we work on the administration building that is back up, so we feel that once the government has work to do over there, we prepare to get it done quickly. On Virgin Gorda, we've done a lot of work over there. Those are some of the projects that we finished first. North Song, the administration buildings in the valley, and most recently we finished the basketball court, I like to call it. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, the Jahphix arena?
Jahphix, yeah, arena. So we have in the covered basketball court with the scoreboards and everything inside there. The outdoor basketball court has been completed, and we have the parking area that's being paved. So that is completed, and the only I guess impediment, or the only minor detail that is left to be done, is the actual handover to government. But I know that people use the facilities already. They go there and see them using them. So for practical purposes, that is complete. On Virgin Gorda, not on Virgin Gorda, on Jahphix, we actually about to start the school over there.
Beautiful.
That has been a long time in coming, and it's needed.
Yeah.
So the bids are submitted last week, if I recall, and that'll be, give us a month or two again, and that'll be off and running. So that is quite a big deal for us, because we've looked at the condition in which the students in Jahphix have been operating.
What have they been putting up with for?
It's heartbreaking, and so we're quite eager to get that done. Like I always say with the RDA, the only thing that impedes us is funding. But we know that the government, we've spoken to the Premier, the former Premier, this current Premier, the Minister of Education, all are quite committed to getting that done. And the funds will begin on that project later this year, I think.
Okay. With a timeline to complete the when?
It should be sometime towards the end of next year.
Okay, so they have that for the 2023, 2022.
It might be the 2023. Might not be the 2023 school year, but it will probably be completed towards the end of next year.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
But that is something that we are paying quite some close attention to, because of the conditions for the students over there.
Okay, awesome to know that it's a rounded thing. You're spreading your wings across, and no one should be feel like a stepchild being left behind. But we started off on Tortola, but let's close off on Tortola, because this is a critical one to so many of us here, and that's the Western Ferry Terminal.
Yes, the Western Ferry Terminal is, I like to refer to it as a legacy issue. It has been around for, got to be over 2 decades. We've been trying to fix over there, the government. And the RDA has progressed that along quite swiftly. We have a design, but what the current Premier has decided that it might be in the best interest of everyone if we look at the aesthetics of the building again. Well, there's been some, the stakeholders, the public stakeholders, there's been some expressions of dissatisfaction with the...
Despite we would have had so many consultations?
Yes, but the the consultation on, I should say the decision on the aesthetics that you see now were quite, what you say, short,
Okay.
right? So we probably use a more scientific method of getting people's opinion on what they prefer. So we have 3 options. We put them out, and then we probably use some sort of survey basis once we explain to see what people prefer, right?
But that being seen as a critical component of our tourism industry
Yes,
here,
very much
and the need to have this off the ground and running really fast. How soon you expect that consultation to go forward, be completed, and get to the stage of getting some actual work done?
Well, if I'll put it this way, if we didn't decide to go through a consultation process again on the looks of it, the functionality remain the same.
Okay.
We probably would have started on that building sometime in summer, right? And I think the schedule for it is about 18 months to complete. So that would have begun, and you would have seen things happening. I would have been ready to move into it by the end of next year, I would think.
Okay.
Because of the consultations, we're not so sure how long that'll take yet, but that'll probably delay things at least 6 months. But you know, this is something we're gonna live with for the next 3 or 4 decades. So let's get it right. You're not gonna please everyone. You're not certainly not gonna please everyone all the time. But at least we'll be able to say that we had a proper consultation process. Not that we didn't have a proper one before, but we looked it based on the
Express
feedback
concerns,
we've had coming back, and therefore we'll be able to say, okay, yes, we know we can't please everyone every time, but we've gone through this. This is it, and this is what we're going to move forward with. I personally don't know what the decision will be. None of us have any idea, but we'll see what the consultation brings back. And once the decision is made, then we move forward with no concern about whether we're doing something that the people don't want. Right?
Okay. What about funding for it? Where is the funding?
The funding is there. The funding is there. We have to be very careful that we don't allow the design to push it up too high. And the design that was done would have been within the budgeted figure, but then we didn't anticipate the Ukraine, we didn't anticipate the inflationary pressures that we have worldwide and that would be affecting us. So we have to do things to mitigate against that inflation. And after that, I think we'll have a facility that not only is fit for purpose, but something that we could be proud of. West End is the busiest terminal that we have, is the busiest port that we have in the BVI. And if we could improve the facility adequately, then I would expect to see maybe even more traffic coming through there to support, as you say, the support of our tourism sector. Right?
Okay. And there's a saying that if everything is going well, then something is definitely wrong. Are you facing any challenges? And if so, what are the major challenges that the RDA faces when it comes to executing on time and of value?
It might sound a bit funny, but we don't consider ourselves to have. I guess not everything is easy, right? But the RDA was designed, built, and the individuals, and they have the mindset that if there's a problem, then we'll fix it. But I guess if I'm to think about it, the only issue I think that we have probably is making sure that funding arrives on time, because we have the ability sometimes to actually outstrip the pace at which government is able to fund us. Right?
Okay.
That's easy for us to do, and it has happened before. So I would say that's the main challenge. The technical issues, we solve the technical issues. If there are public concerns, we have a website, we speak to the public all the time. If they have a complaint, we know we have a process for dealing with it. So for us, it's just daily routine, solving a problem, that's why we're there. But I would say that our greatest challenge probably is going at a pace that stresses central government or stresses anybody who's feeding funds to us. That'd be probably the biggest challenge that we have, because it's quite easy for us in a lot of cases to outstrip or outpace the ability of central government to fund us, right? So
Okay.
that's probably the only major thing that concerns us, really.
All right, and in closing, as we enter the hurricane season, with the projects that you have, the Fish Bay Road and the high school, that is factored in to ensure that it's at a certain stage that, you know, if it's to rain a lot or storms to come, it still will not push back completion too far.
Well, Fish Bay should be finished before we have any concerns about hurricanes, right?
Okay.
And if there's a lot of water, it wouldn't be an issue. That's why we designed it to deal with water, right? So if a hurricane comes now, obviously what we see over there will be a little problem. Like I say, by the end of July, for sure, that should be finished. That's what we anticipate. And if it could rain as much as it did during Irma, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Awesome.
Should be able to get rid of that. High school now is a difference. We'll have to, if the hurricane comes again after July, we should be in a situation there where it would probably slow down construction, but we should be able to secure the building in such a manner that it doesn't do it anything either. So the concern, as long as we stay on schedule, we should be fine, I believe. Unless the hurricanes decide they're gonna come, number one, which I don't think they will this year. And then if they come early, when I say early, I mean like in early July or something,
Yeah.
or early August. But that's our major concern. If they come in September and we
Safe.
then we should be safe. I'm not concerned about the high school with hurricanes at all. I'm not concerned about West End. I'm not concerned about any of the projects that we did in respect to hurricanes. I mean, no one can plan for a Hurricane Irma or Hurricane Maria, right? But I would be willing to say that if Hurricane Irma comes, you won't have a problem at Ballis Bay like you had before. And you shouldn't have a problem here at Fish Bay like you had before. But it might break some windows at the high school, right?
Okay.
But it
And
wouldn't
those
take
windows will take you some time to come in, so please.
But it wouldn't, the structures and stuff, nah, I wouldn't concern myself. Roofs and stuff, I wouldn't worry about those things.
Okay, great. So I want to thank you for taking some time to come and give us some update. You know, it helps us to schedule ourselves and to know how to maneuver where, what to expect with our kids when it comes to school and all that's happening across the territory that the RDA is undertaking at the moment, and we look forward to, you know, continued progress. Thank you so much for starting our week on a very positive note, and I want to thank you for joining us for this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.